2022 to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone. Christian word, truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Akim, scattered in the four corners of the world. Christian word, truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird. Christian word, truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is another news article for In the News in regards to Wars and Rumors Awards been increasing in the last days, especially for the last couple of days as well too, as we see these news articles in the world with alternative news of the Wars and Rumors Awards. This is heating up, and this is a news article from RT.com. It was published on July the 19th, 2022. And the highlight of this news article for In the News on July the 18th, 2022 at 10:35 p.m. on this Monday night. And the highlight of this news article, and it reads for In the News for on this Monday night, and it reads, Chinese military issues warning to the U.S. Beijing vows to defend territorial integrity after Washington approves major arms deal with Taiwan. And I did a video on this about day before yesterday in regards to, Taiwan got the deal approved from the United States, and this is the second time, the United States have improved a military equipment of approval, because the United States is a full support ally of Taipei, and Taipei, Taiwan, Then you have the tensions further increasing in the South China Sea. So yeah, this is gonna further in the military tensions gonna increase, especially in the South China Sea. As I mentioned before in my previous videos, because you got Beijing stationed down there, you got China stationed down there, you got the United States stationed down there, you got Japan stationed down there as well too, So expect to see more tensions between the nations that are all stationed down there. Some of them, they allies with each other, and they look at the other nations as potentially adversaries, with these South China Sea dispute of these tensions. Because, I mentioned that the United States, they was going to potentially protect the Philippines because China rejected the dispute of the South China Sea. So you got that tension as well too, along with this current tension that's going on between the United States and China, helping out Taipei, because China and Beijing look at it like, they don't want Taipei, Taiwan to be a full independent country, of a full sovereign country, which they've been for a while, So you're gonna have tensions increasing with that as well too, and many other tensions of disputes that's increasing as well too, of all these nations of militaries that have been stationed down there, because you have the China military group is deployed down there on patrol. So let me read the news article. It says Beijing vows to defend territorial integrity after Washington approved major arms deal with Taiwan. Because this is going to increase the tensions between the United States and China even more, Because, like I mentioned before, I did a video in regards to a similar story to this when the United States approves the sales for Taipei, And, that kind of makes the tensions between the United States and China, their relationship is going further south, and it's not in a good direction, so they kind of decrease their relations towards one another, and it's not going to be good anytime soon. I'll be surprised if they had some type of dialogue to further, to further this situation out, see they be able to handle the situation out. But how the way the looks of it is it's not likely at the moment right now, And let me read the news article. The Foreign and Defense Ministries in Beijing issued a harsh statement on Monday condemning the Biden administration of a new U.S. arms sales to Taiwan. The deal is worth an estimated $108 million and includes armed vehicle parts and technical assistance. Beijing demands that the United States immediately withdraw the above-mentioned arms sales plans to Taiwan, which I highly doubt that's going to happen, as well as the halt or arm deals and cut military ties with the island, and said Defense Minister spokesperson Colin Tan Kaif. Otherwise, the U.S. will be solely responsible for undermining the relationships between China and the United States, as the two militaries and the peace and stability of the Taiwan Strait. The China People Liberations Army will take all necessary measures to firmly defend the nation's sovereignty and territorial integrity and resulting throttle any form of external interference in separatist attempts for Taiwan independence, McCollum added. It says China Foreign Minister spokesperson Wang Wenbin echoed his statement, saying that Washington arms supplies gravely undermines China's sovereignty and security interests and severely harm the China relations and peace and stability with the Taiwan Strait. China will continue to take results and strong measures, right? Because the spokesperson of China had made that statement. If the United States and the allies that's with and support of military support of Taipei, Taiwan, China issue a warning to those that supports of the separatists and sovereignty of Taiwan. They're gonna use any means necessary, even if it might be military action. And that's coming from a Chinese spokesperson. And that's gonna increase the tensions between the United States and China. And China will continue to take resolute and strong measures to firmly defend its sovereignty and security interests, Wang added. The Pentagon revealed on Friday that the U.S. Department have green-lighted the transaction, which is valued to take up $108 million. It has yet to receive the congressional approval. However, the military aid package will include parts for tanks and other combat vehicles, as well as technical and logistical support service provided the U.S. government and its contractors in order to enhance the Taiwanese military interoperabilities with American forces and other allies. And it says, according to the U.S. Defense Secretary, corporation agencies, the State Department spokesperson Ned Price dismissed China's concern, claiming later on Monday that the U.S. has certain obligations to supply Taiwan with the necessary means to defend itself. And it says, under the Taiwan Relations Act, we make available Taiwan defense articles and services necessary to enable Taiwan to maintain insufficient self-defense capabilities. This is something that successive administrations have done. It entirely consists with our one China policy, said Price. Taiwan has been ruled by the nationalists who fled to the islands in 1949 after losing a civil war on the China mainland. Beijing considers the island of 23.5 million as part of its own territory under the One China policy. China has recently increased the maritime and aerial military around the island, saying that this is what's needed to deter collision activities between Taiwan independent forces and the United States government. And it says, while agreeing with one China policy on paper, Washington maintains strong unofficial ties with Taipei, selling weapons to the island, tactfully encouraging its push for sovereignty. Beijing has repeatedly decried such contract as qualifications as the meddling in China's internal affairs. So yeah, this is going to increase the relations between the United States and China, as the United States have unofficial allied ties and fully military support for Taipei, Taiwan, And that's why, it shows China's military issue warning to the United States, and China will use all necessary measures to defend Taipei, Taiwan's from the sovereignty and independence, as the United States and its allies support of unofficial support, military support for Taipei, Taiwan to fully defend itself, to have self-efficient, self-protection, and China doesn't like that because they still under the one China policy from Taipei into the mainland, So, hey, this island, South China Sea island dispute with that as well too. So it's gonna increase more and more and more. So bring out the scripture as I normally always do. Matter of fact, I'm being Joel 3:10. Bring that out first. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares and the swords and the pointy hooks into spears. And let the weak say I'm strong, right? Because now that Taipei is trying to get that full independence and that self security in its self-defense mode. But if they probably wish for, if that is 100% true, now they got the allies from the United States giving them military equipment, military arms equipment, and the training as well too. Because we know for sure China. I mean, we not China. Let me rephrase that. The United States and its allies training Taipei, Taiwanese soldiers as well too, equipping them with military gear, military equipment, and you name it, So that goes to show you, let the weak say I'm strong, because these other nations got military capability as well too. Even if the United States do have the military capabilities for the hypersonic missiles and other military well equipped for war type tactics as well too. But these other nations got military equipment as well too, just like China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, South Korea, Japan. Even though the United States is allies with South Korea and Japan as well too, and the allies as well too, But these other nations they got much of a upgradable military equipment as much as the United States as well too. Now you're starting to see the nations are starting to rise. They got military equipment and ability as well too. That's why you're seeing all these nations purchasing and equipping all these military equipments, all these military upgradable equipment as well too. These missile launch testings, especially from Russia, they call it the Satan II, I believe. Yeah. Uh-huh.
We're not just talking to them, they come in here and check. I said, yeah, they come in here and check on.
Yeah.
That's the city that they don't see us on all of dance and good. That's why I told you we be watching the wall.
Right.
See, when you stay in a year in a apartment, they come and check it out.
Yeah.
See it, I'm finna check the apartment.
Oh, okay.
See, they come in here and check and see these walls clean.
Right.
See something like that, you have to keep it clean.
Yeah.
When something like that and all that, then we get one of those scrub things and keep it clean. Like this cop, I gotta get that clean. You can't just keep people stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why I be telling Chuck, I said, you can't put your foot on that wall. It's good I got that wall to do stuff like I was doing that cabin. You can't just do people stuff like that. And when we move, this house will look the same when part we moved it.
Right.
Can't do that shit.
True.
That lady did came in. See? You in when that lady came.
Yeah.
I'm serious, man.
Yeah, I do.
You just can't do people places like that. You serious?
Right.
Sit there, come on.
Oh, hold on a second. I'll be right back through this washroom.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hold on.
Go ahead.
So yeah, like I mentioned before, with the military equipment between the nations, that's why you're seeing the increase of the nations, the rise against nations, and the kingdom against kingdoms as well too. And I'm gonna bring out Matthews 24 and 6, and I'm gonna close out the lesson because I helped my OG out with something right quick. Salakia, because I was in there talking with her. And this is Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, seeing that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? And verse 7. Let's see. Salakia. I'm gonna jump to verse 7, then I'm gonna close out the lesson. Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nations, and the kingdom against kingdoms. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, right? That's what we're seeing with the nations rising against nations and kingdom against kingdoms as it's further increasing in the year of 2022, because this the year of turn up, because this is the year of Yahweh Bashim El Shai turning up of these nations increasingly having clashes of attentions between one another from a military standpoint to a verbal standpoint and a financial standpoint as well too, in to that regards, So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, of great millstone, preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. Shalom to the Akim, scattered to the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom and a ball.